Let's speak to a very happy Aston Villa fan this morning, no doubt. There you go, James Clifton, congratulations. What a feeling that must be.
Oh, I can't really put into words, if I'm honest. Absolutely incredible. Never thought the game was going to go like that. We were all very nervous before the game. I think nervous because we're all, relatively confident because of the opposition that we were playing against. And the lads just needed to turn up. Boy, did they. Oh my God, absolutely brilliant. Friend Gary was out there. He was sending me live videos from the stadium. It looked incredible. Atmosphere looked amazing. Yeah, what a time to be a Villa fan. What a time.
And who's to thank for this more than anyone? Is it Emery?
I mean, you've got to say he's turned this club around, hasn't he? I think you've got to say thanks to him. I think you've got to give it to the players as well. They've really stepped up. The levels that they seem to be able to achieve each season just keep going up and up. John McGinn, you always think he's kind of like, oh, is he going to do it this season? Is he part of that starting 11? And he finds another level. Emi Buendia, like a phoenix from the ashes, comes into the squad, and absolutely unbelievable. Last night, he was incredible. But Unai Emery is an absolute genius. I don't know what he's got in that Europa League, some kind of golden magic dust. It's incredible. But what he has achieved with this team, and this team this season, by the way, bearing in mind, lowest net spend in the league, and we've qualified for the Champions League twice in this season.
Well, how far can Emery take you then? Because he says this is just the start.
Well, yeah, I mean, if he says it, I'm going to believe it. There's obviously all these restrictions in place and all these kind of things, but if we can continue to hit the kind of levels we are, that income will come. The exposure that we get from winning this trophy, the exposure that we get from gaining the Champions League increases our commercial income as well. The ceiling is there is no ceiling. There is no ceiling with these owners. There is no ceiling with this manager. I fully believe that Aston Villa can challenge on any level over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons.
Any level, so Champions League next season?
Yes, mate. I am. Or I'm looking at the flights. I'm booking it. It's happening.
Quick question: When were you convinced with Unai Emery? Because there was a few questions. Oh, can he do it? Where, what happens now with him? When were you convinced over the last few years with him?
I think it was that Champions League season, the season where we qualified for the Champions League. Getting over the line in that season was incredible. And then actually to see us in the Champions League and competing, like we very much thought, we'd like to just get out the league phase.
Sorry.
But we actually, oh, bless you. We'd actually like to just get out the league phase, but we actually managed to get to the quarterfinals. And I tell you what, and I've said this a few times, I believe if we had got past PSG, I genuinely believe we would have gone on and won that tournament. I really do.
How come Unai Emery isn't getting...
Careful.
Nobody seems like when Manchester United job was available, Chelsea job was available. It didn't seem like anybody went in for Unai Emery. I know you'll obviously be hoping that's just because he's not interested. But why aren't other clubs coming in for Unai Emery? I know you're a massive club, but still, there are bigger.
I mean, according to you guys, he's not in the top 6 nominations, even for the leagues, even for the season. So
that wasn't us.
I think
we didn't decide that. That's the Premier League. We didn't decide.
That's the
fans. I'm sure he's having offers. He's actually said it in an interview recently. He's been getting offers, but he's not interested. I'm sure he's on their lists. There's no way he wasn't on the Real Madrid list of managers that they were looking at. There's no way he wasn't there. But I think you've probably heard it from fans time and time again this season with Villa. He has such control at this club, the way it's set up and the way that he has the keys to the castle. He decides what transfers. He decides what the players do. He decides everything that happens on and relatively off the pitch. He's only one step down from the owners. You don't get that at other clubs. So maybe they're looking at it and going, well, we'd have to do this with Emery. We'd have to try and give him this, because if you don't give him that, it's probably not going to work. So he's got this unique position at Villa where we have this plethora of resources and we have such kind of upper echelons that we can go to. But he also has that control, which he just probably won't get at other clubs.
How long do you think he stays? Can you see him long term, or can you see maybe in the next 1 or 2 years that maybe those, his door is being knocked and saying, okay, now's the time for your, so-called big club?
Yeah, I think it's less about the other big clubs coming. I think it's more about how frustrating things can get at Villa. So, we've seen the frustrations with the PSR rules, with all those kind of restrictions. So we need Champions League consecutive seasons. That's the key for these financial restrictions. So if we don't get Champions League again next season for the season after, then we might be hampered again. So we might get frustrated in, say, like 2 seasons. But there's going to have to be some kind of rotation this season with some of our players. It's an aging squad. We've got like 29, 30, 31-year-olds in like Ollie Watkins, John McGinn, Tyrone Mings, Emi Martinez. We've got all these players who are aging a little bit. There's going to need to be a refresh and a bit of a rebuild. I don't see him leaving at the very start of that. I don't see him doing that. I see him very much trying to lay that foundation and get us into that place where we are consistently, whether it's with him or without him, competing at that top level.
Well, amazing night for you last night. Congratulations, thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Up the Villa!